Hi, I'm Austin. This is a Destiny video. I hope you enjoy it. I really hesitated making this video. I don't like to make content like this normally. I haven't really posted a lot of videos on this channel in a long time anyway, so this is definitely going to seem out of the blue. Whatever. Today, February 24th, 2013, Destiny 2 got an update. Today was the day that a new balance patch was coming through that was nerfing Titan's Ramparts and uh, Titan barricades and Titan class ability stuff, as well as some Hunter ability stuff, some sandbox changes, some aerial effectiveness changes, and of course, like the biggest thing on most people's watch list here is the way that blues are changing. So blues will no longer be dropping once you hit the soft cap for power level in Destiny 2. That's all great. The big problem came with this morning after the patch went live. The servers were in a state of disrepair. They were in some pretty rough place. People were experiencing some really bad jittery sort of enemy rubber banding where you would kill an enemy. There was a really good clip on Twitter. I might throw it up on screen for you, but there was a really good clip on Twitter of this where a streamer, I believe it was Chevy, was trying to kill a servitor and it just would not die. It would keep coming back and coming back and coming back, and it was a big problem in general. Unfortunately, this also led to a lot of players losing their triumphs and seals. I saw a couple of tweets where people had tweeted out that, you know, I've gilded my dredging title twice and now I don't have the title at all. I lost my Garden of Salvation raid seal. I lost this, I lost that. So Bungie brought the game offline for maintenance. Obviously, the game was in a bad enough place where they felt like it was necessary to do that. And as of the time of recording this, which is, it's midnight actually on the 25th, Bungie has brought the game offline and will not be going back online until sometime between 3 and 4 a.m. Pacific time, which is 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. my time, Central Time. This is the first time that I can ever remember the Destiny servers going offline for this long. This is obviously a big problem, and the Bungie team, very competent group of developers, are working as hard as they possibly can to put a fix together to get this back up and running again. Unfortunately, the game is just not doing too great today, and that's okay. The big question, though, is it time for a Destiny 3? Has Destiny 2 met its limits and run its course, and, you know, is there too much work that needs to be done to the engine to continue to support Destiny 2 into the untold future, right? Like, this really wouldn't be a problem if there was a predictable end to Destiny 2 like there was with Destiny 1. You know, Bungie was able to take the D1 engine, make a lot of changes to it, and put all of those changes into a fully fledged sequel, which is what Destiny 2 was. Of course, D2 at launch wasn't the best, and people had a lot of problems with it, and there were, you know, major sandbox issues and changes that people didn't like. But of course, as time's gone on, Destiny 2 has gotten to a really good place, in my opinion. It's in the best place it's ever been in, minus a few like sandbox things that I think could be changed, but that's a discussion for another time. If you want to catch any of that, maybe keep an eye on Xbox Era, subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk about that one day. But I really think that even though Bungie is doing everything that they can to sustain Destiny 2, like I said, for an untold amount of time into the future, they've been doing a great job of it. Unfortunately, though, as time has gone on and they've now committed even to no longer vaulting content, it just doesn't seem possible. It doesn't seem like Destiny 2 is the game that can continue to go on for another 5, 6, 7, 10 years with no major problems. In fact, this isn't even the first time that Bungie has come out now and said that they will be rolling back players' accounts to just before the update went live this morning. This has now happened 3 times, and I'm actually going to show it to you. I'm showing you gameplay trailer on loop because unfortunately with the game being down, I somehow don't have any recordings saved of gameplay. But let me see. So this is the 3rd rollback in Destiny's history where they are rolling back accounts. They did it on January 28th of 2020 because of currencies and pursuits being missing, or being lost rather. On the 11th of February that same year, so just a few weeks later, for the same problem, currencies and materials were lost. And now today, because of triumphs and seals being lost. And I saw a little bit of, anger about this on Twitter. People were upset because they got on this morning, the patch came out, and they did raids and things like that so they could work on getting their red border weapons for Deepstone Crypt, which is the featured raid this week. I can totally appreciate being frustrated about that. I saw a couple of people that had already gotten red bar progress. They upped the drops in Deepstone so that Deepstone would favor red border weapons in encounters that would typically drop those weapons, so that you could craft those weapons faster. The Bungie is, of course, very aware. People are trying to maximize the time that they get out of the game. If Deepstone has craftable weapons and it is the farmable raid that week, people are obviously going to want to farm the raid. So they made that change. That's great. People got in, fought through the server problems, got red bar progress, and are now upset that they're rolling back accounts to the morning of Tuesday, February 24th. Which, again, is totally understandable, but I think that is a better compromise than people just, losing seals and triumph score. A lot of players find that very valuable. I personally would be upset. I didn't get to log in today. I do have a day job, so if I had logged in and my Conqueror seal was gone, which I'm, maybe more proud of than the typical player who has the Conqueror seal, I would have been disappointed. So I can totally appreciate this. I think that this is the right move. Another topic of conversation, though, is respectful feedback in the way that that's being given. Destiny Bulletin is a great account. I highly recommend, if you're not following them, you do go follow them on Twitter. They also run thegamepost.com. This is a great account. This is a great site. I think that they do some fantastic stuff. They're always on top of everything. They always pull quotes from articles and things like that whenever things are happening. They were very quick to pull quotes from this PC Gamer article. I think that they're a great account. They got a lot of hate for this tweet, which is an opinion rather than news. But, of course, if you look at their bio, it does say that they upload opinions. So I don't understand why people got so antsy about this. But they tweeted out that it feels like every hotfix update fixes one thing and adds two major bugs in return. The state of the game is getting worse and worse, which is really worrying considering a new expansion is just weeks away. And I think that this is a fair concern. I think that, obviously, the Witch Queen, the most recent expansion from last year, had one of the cleanest day one launches of all time as far as Destiny is concerned. I have not seen an expansion or even a full-on release in Destiny that has come and landed and performed as well as this expansion did. I think that was I was so happy for the team. I was happy as a player. I was able to just get in, I stream it. So I was streaming the Legendary campaign. Once I got logged in, I never got kicked out. I never got error coded. I think I got contacting Destiny servers maybe twice all day one, and it was great. Unfortunately, day one raid for Valve the Disciple did not go super well at all. And I was on one of those teams that was severely affected by it for the first 4 or 5 hours. We were stopped at the first actual encounter because we would make progress. We'd get 1 out of 3 of the sort of rotations in, and we'd get kicked to orbit, and we'd have to restart, no checkpoint or anything like that. So we got very familiar with the first, 15-20 minutes of that raid on day one, because we just kept having to redo it. We were super sure we knew we were doing the first encounter right. Unfortunately, though, with that many kicks, we got worried, okay, maybe things are going wrong. Bungie later came out and said that it was because of an API issue, because of weapon crafting, weapon progress being made. And so they had to pause weapon crafting for the 48 hours that contest was extended to. That is not good. It is not okay that this game needs features to be shut off during major releases. This is a game, this is an MMO, not in a traditional sense. I understand that. It's not World of Warcraft. It's not, it's not even Elder Scrolls Online or anything like that, but it is an MMO, and it needs to be able to sustain these integral systems. Like if I'm in a raid on day one for 18 hours and I'm using crafted weapons, I'd like to be earning progress on those. So who knows what's going to happen with Lightfall's day one raid. This is the major problem. Bungie has already committed to no longer vaulting Destiny 2 content. So every expansion of the game is staying in the game for the foreseeable future. They are still obviously vaulting seasonal content. I think that's okay, as long as, you know, certain major missions and stuff can be kept. I really, really liked the Seraph Shield mission in Season of the Seraph. I'd love for that to stick around and be thrown into the the Legends node in the Director, but that's neither here nor there. I think that this game has a very, very serious problem right now in that players expect a certain level of functionality with their games. We're spending so much money. I'm spending so much money on this game every year, every season, even. I'll admit that I do occasionally buy things in the Eververse store. Not very often, but, you know, I did buy the Assassin's Creed armor set for my Warlock because I thought it looked cool. Neither here nor there. The problem is if Destiny 2 is going to continue to be the game for the Destiny franchise, where, like, this is it, there is no sequel in sight, then it needs to continue to receive more and more often of those back-end changes to help support the game. Destiny 2 has been getting a lot of back-end, you know, server-side updates and game updates and everything like that for years now. But if their plans are to continue to keep Destiny 2 sustainable, then we can't have hotfixes like this completely break the game. I know that sounds obvious. I'm trying to voice my concerns as respectfully as possible. I have nothing but respect for the Bungie developers. Again, I've been a lifelong Bungie fan, and of course, you know, whatever that makes me a shill or whatever. I care a lot about the product that they're making, for all of the products that they have made in the past. And I think that for Destiny to continue to thrive, I think it might be time to consider a sequel, a full-on Destiny 3. I don't necessarily love the idea of another new game. I would hate to lose all of the amazing things that they've worked so hard to put into the game already. I don't know sort of what that would look like. I don't know if they take Destiny 2 offline after the final shape for a little while. Not necessarily offline, but like stop providing regular content updates for a while so that they can update the back end and just call it Destiny or rebrand it as Destiny 3 or whatever. But this commitment to Destiny 2 needs to mean something, or they need to put out a sequel. Right now, the game is in a rough spot. It does really truly seem like every time there's an update or a content release or a hotfix, anything, it seems like there are more and more problems. Servers are becoming more and more unstable, and that's understandable when you consider the systems that Destiny as a game, as a product, had to worry about on day one in 2017 versus what's going on under the hood nowadays. It's no surprise that this engine is starting to show its age, that it's sort of starting to wear and you know, crack at the seams. But if this is going to be it, if Destiny 2 is going to be the Destiny game for the foreseeable future, we need it to be sustainable. We need it to work and you know, operate successfully. We can't have the game go offline. I have no problem with taking a step away from Destiny for a day, for a few days. Lord knows I've done it for weeks at a time, but this is a thing that we all pay for. I know it's a free-to-play game. You know, we pay $100 or more annually for expansions and seasons. You know, digital deluxe content, whatever. You know, you got to get your emote, your ghost, your exotic weapon early. Excuse me, a little bit of a cold right now, but I think that it might be time for Bungie to seriously consider what a sequel might look like, what a fully fledged, like, top-down refresh of the engine, brand new environments. I mean, honestly, like, even graphically, don't get me wrong, Neomuna looks beautiful and Savathun's Throne World looks amazing, but it is kind of starting to show its age in some places, visually even. Please, God, one of these days we got to get some real anti-aliasing options on PC. I'm begging you. I really think that it's about time for Destiny to see some sort of refresh. I think that as much as like I said, I would hate for a fully fledged sequel to release at this point, because my God, would it suck to have to, have the Bungie devs report all of the raids that they've put into Destiny 2 into D3, or a sequel, whatever it might be called, Destiny or whatever. All of the weapons, the amount of D2 exclusive exotics, plus all of the D1 stuff they've already brought forward. What that could do for a potential like full top to bottom sandbox refresh. If they're just bringing everything back in from D2 into a new sequel, then like what's even the point? I don't know what the right answer is. I think a Destiny 3 right now in my head, a Destiny 3 needs to happen. But I know that Bungie is competent enough to fix a lot of these problems. I think that it's unfortunately just going to be a matter of time. But at the end of the day, I understand all of the frustrations and maybe less than constructive criticism going around on Twitter today, but I really, really think that this game needs some serious TLC. I really think that, it needs some sort of improvements to its backends, to its servers. PvP is super laggy right now, and it's not just because of SBMM, even though SBMM definitely plays a part in that. When you see PvP style lag or worse in PvE content, you know that there's something wrong. So anyway, guys, that's going to be it for my nearly 20-minute long ramble. I'm sure that this video won't be quite that long, but anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you do enjoy the video. If you do, subscribe, like the video, all of that fun stuff. You know how it works. My name is Austin Ford. You can find me online everywhere at Austin Ford Games. Thank you so much for watching the video. I love you. Be safe. Have fun. I'll see you next time.